Okay, Ampere's law is a nice shortcut. Just like in electrostatics, we had like an integral way to create the electric field. Sometimes Gauss's law was a much simpler way to find the electric field. And correspondingly in magnetism, Biot-Savart is a very complex way to find the magnetic field. Ampere's law, if there's the right symmetry, Ampere's law can be also used to analyze and determine the magnetic field. And so we'll talk about how to create an Ampérian loop, when is the correct time to use Ampere's law, and how you can use it to more simply find the strength of a magnetic field and the principles involved. So Ampere's law is the next big law, and this is the law that's more useful and easier to find the magnetic field instead of doing Biot-Savart law. It's just a more powerful way, and here's the key idea on it. It's that if you do a line integral around the loop of the magnetic field, and magnetic fields always kind of create loops. Like, remember if you think about that wire, it's creating those concentric circles there. So basically, if you do a inline integral, if you add up the magnetic field dotted with the line integral path through that loop, that it equals, okay, mu naught times the current that pierces the loop. Pierces the surface of the loop. So the idea is you're going to draw a little thing that follows the magnetic field. Ideally, you want B to be constant. So like Gauss's law, it's kind of like you want to draw a correct Ampérian loop, and you want to draw the loop ideally so B is constant. Okay? And then you are going to do B times the length of the loop, because this integral becomes B times the length of the loop. Because if B is constant, you're just integrating over dl, basically, right? And then basically you're just going to set it equal to mu naught times the amount of current that is going through the loop. So if you think about like you have a loop, think of it like there's a surface on the loop, and you think about how much current is piercing going through that surface. Okay, so let's say in this one, let's take a look at this. We have a current I flows around this circuit like this. So there's I going through here, I going through here, I coming out here, I going through here. Like it flows in the circuit. And we want to know what is that line integral around there. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. Ampere's law says that this total line integral is going to be mu naught times I, where I is the current going through here. So for A, it's equal to mu naught times I, because you have I going through here. For B, if you look at it, you have I going this way and I going this way. That cancels each other out. The net current going through the loop is 0. So it's 0 for B. For C, it's mu naught I. And for D, you have I coming in and I leaving. So for D, it's equal to 0. Okay? Because the I is the total current that's going through the loop. Okay? Example 2, a long straight wire of radius r carries a current I that is distributed. Oh, let's make it a little thicker. A radius r carries a current that is distributed uniformly over the cross section of the wire. Okay, so the radius of this is r. Okay, and we have a total current I, but it's distributed throughout the cylinder, the wire there. What is the magnitude of the magnetic field within a wire at a distance r from the center of the wire? So if I think about this as my axes, and I would like to know the magnetic field, like at this point here, right? That's a distance a little r away. I want to know what the magnetic field is. Well, you know, by the right-hand rule, the magnetic field is going to be a loop that kind of looks like this. It's going to come down in front and go this way in the back, right? So what you want to do is you want to say, like, well, the path integral of b dot dl over this loop here is equal to mu naught I. Now, in this case, the magnetic field is constant, so it's just b times the circumference of this loop, okay, which is 2 pi r. And that equals mu naught times... Now, how much current? I is not going through it. I is the total current going through the wire. We want to know how much current is going through this part here. And that is the amount of current, if the current is distributed uniformly throughout it, then it's the ratio of the areas. It's I times pi times little r squared over pi times big R squared, because I want to do the ratio of the area of this to the entire wire, because I know the entire wire contains the full current, and so however much area is here compared to the entire area is kind of like what fraction of the current is going through there. So the pi's cancel, and you get that, and then you can solve for I. It's 2 pi RB divided by I, and then we're going to multiply by r squared divided by little r squared. So move all those over. One of those r's cancel, so I get 2 pi b. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm solving for the magnetic field. Sorry. So b. Sorry. I'm just going to, sorry, let me just do it again. You're solving for the magnetic field, so I'm just going to divide by 2 pi r. So I'm going to get mu naught I r squared over 2 pi r capital R squared. One of those r's cancel, so I get mu naught I r over 2 pi capital R squared. Like that. Okay? Let's look at example 3. A solenoid is used to make a strong magnetic field using coils of wires. Use Ampere's law to derive formula magnetic field inside the solenoid. Assume that N is the number of turns per wire per length and I is the current through the wire. So here, if you do an Ampèrian loop, one of the things we can kind of say about is that like the magnetic field kind of has this shape here. It kind of goes like this. Okay? Now, if you make this far enough away, this part you assume the magnetic field is 0, and the magnetic field through here is about B. And then you also assume the magnetic field is perpendicular, so when I do a dot product with the length, okay, this part of the loop and this part of the loop don't incur, okay? So here I'm making a square Ampèrian loop, and the B dot dl, because the B is to the right, the dl is kind of like along this path. The dot product would be 0 on these two branches here, and B is 0 on this path. So this path integral is literally only contributing from this part of the loop. It's B times that length. And that length there is, we'll just call it L. Yeah, they called it L. Now this equals mu naught times the current piercing the loop. Well, because of the way that there's multiple coils going through it, right? And then let's say N is the number of turns per wire. That means per unit length. That means the number of times that the current is piercing through here, like how many are going through here, N would be little n times the length, right? Because N is the number of turns per unit length. So I multiply by the length to get the total number of turns there are. And so like the amount of current is N times I, which is mu naught NL times I. Okay? Because basically you're going to count how many are going through there, and that's really what that capital N is. So you get B times L is mu naught NLI. The L's cancel, and you get B is equal to mu naught NI, and that is the magnetic field in a solenoid. You're given that equation on the AP Physics C equation sheet, the magnetic field. But that's how you derive it using an Ampèrian loop. And that would have been way easier than trying to use Biot Savart to try to compute that magnetic field total. Okay. If you found this video helpful, come check out our school community. It's got an amazing bunch of features. It's got extra videos, corrected videos, better than the ones that I have errors on YouTube. It's got multiple choice free response questions. I hold live Q&A sessions and go through more problems and and I answer students' questions, help with schoolwork, all kinds of things. If you want to check it out, look in the description below or check out the website and find us in the school community. You get a 7-day free trial to give it a shot, just to check it out, see what it's like, come join some calls, and honestly, come learn AP Physics 1 even faster with us.